They have finally released the official teaser trailer for Resident Evil Project Resistance, and I am going to be honest, I am very excited. I am someone that loves the Resident Evil franchise. I think that, in my opinion, it is one of the best series to ever be released. It spans back so many years. You really get a feel for the world that you are in. They're very immersive. The gameplay is always fantastic. And I just feel the game is always innovative. The newest entry always has something to it that is very unique to the series. And that is why I am very excited for Project Resistance. It does not look like a traditional Resident Evil game, even though it is very different in a lot of regards. I do think that this could be a really great title. Now, this year, Resident Evil 2 is probably one of my favorite releases. I have put so many hours into it. I have replayed it almost 4 times now, going into my 5th. It was one of my favorite games this year, and that is why I am extra excited. I feel as though with the release of the Resident Evil 2 remake, this is timed very well, but I wanted to give you all my initial thoughts, things that I noticed in the trailer, and let's just get into the teaser. So one of the first things that I noticed right here 12 seconds into the trailer was how the characters are dressed. This obviously takes place in Raccoon City, but it seems to take place during Resident Evil 2 and the events that are going on during Resident Evil 2. Now, I'm just taking a guess at that from, one, the way that they are dressed, but also, two, the enemies and the creatures that we will appear to be fighting. One of them here, 41 seconds into the trailer, says a liquor. It just seems like it all makes sense, especially with the events at the very end of the trailer. But that would be my assumption. 2 is my favorite Resident Evil game, and that's why I was so excited that they were actually remaking it this year, and that I put so many hours into that title. The next thing that I am so excited to see, to see how it is going to translate into gameplay, is the fact that this person, the villain, we don't know who he is controlling a tyrant with like this remote control system. We don't know how he's controlling it. We don't know how that will actually factor into the game and the gameplay. But if we are seeing this in the trailer, I have a feeling that that is really going to play into at least the storyline. If we don't get to play as a tyrant and remote control this tyrant, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. But I feel like one of the best parts of Resident Evil 2 was Mr. X, and I feel like Capcom wanted to kind of draw more onto that because they saw how much a phenomenon Mr. X kind of was with the memes and the jokes, and he was admittedly one of the best parts of the game. So I think that this is really awesome. If we can even control enemies by some means, even if it's not a tyrant, I think that that would be so cool and add just such a unique aspect to the franchise. And even though this isn't a main entry, I do think that this is their chance to really take some risks. Obviously, we do know at this point that it is confirmed to be a 4v1. Some people are disappointed with that. It's got a very Left 4 Dead feel, and I'm not disappointed with that. I am excited that they are taking a risk with this. Yes, it may not pay off the way that they want it. There are aspects that we do not know about it in regards to the fact that this could be an online-only game, which, because it's co-op based, that could be the case, and I know a lot of people would be pretty disappointed with that. I personally could go either way. If it is a fantastic game, if it is just perfect, I don't mind when games are online only based, but I do understand how inconvenient they can be for people, and that is something that's become more of a trend lately, is games being online only, and there are people that still do not have adequate internet connections. I mean, look at the conversation with the Stadia, you know, how much that requires in terms of internet base, and then you really hear from people what their average internet is. But I do think that Capcom is definitely taking a risk with this. Making it a 4v1 is very risky, but I do think that this could pay off for them, and I really hope that it does. Obviously, we have not seen any gameplay yet, and that's slightly disappointing, but we are supposed to be seeing gameplay very soon for it. Even if we only get like 30 seconds of gameplay, I still feel as though that will be sufficient enough for a lot of people, and even me. I just want gameplay. I feel as though this is a title we will not be able to properly judge until we have gameplay for it. Otherwise, that is all that we really know at this point. We only have this short trailer, but so far I am very excited for it. I am very hopeful for it, even if it's not what people wanted. It is not a Resident Evil 3 remake or anything like that. I am trying to keep open eyes with it. I think that Capcom does do some good, and I definitely have some hope in them to not mess this entry up, but only time will tell. When we actually get gameplay, I probably will make another video on that, letting you all know my thoughts on it, but let everyone know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the teaser trailer. Did you enjoy it? Is this a game you know right off the bat with co-op and 4v1 you are not going to be interested in? Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all in the next video really soon.